Hello, everybody. Welcome and welcome back to the Conscious Spirit Podcast. I got Trevor.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here once again.
Yes. Always love
And
getting together with Trevor.
and it's not just the two of us. My cat is also here out of frame and will be making visits. You'll see her tail, so if you do see that, sorry about that. She loves the high vibration of when we do podcasts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is she there? Can you show her cute little face?
She is sitting right next to
Ah,
me on my arm
on the
rest thing,
armrest.
and I don't want to move.
Okay. Don't blame you.
I'm
I
afraid.
get it. I get it. I get it. I had cats for years. Miss my kitties. They all got old and left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are we going to talk about today, Trevor?
Well, we are going to talk about the Wheel of Fortune card in tarot specifically, because that has been our little stalker card that's been coming
Mm-hmm.
up
It
the
has.
past couple days, and it just feels more significant for not just the two of us, but for everybody who's listening.
Okay.
And we are talking about navigating the ups and downs of life.
That is a big topic. So, will you give an overview of what the Wheel of Fortune is?
Absolutely. So, the Wheel of Fortune card is all about the ups and downs of life, the highs, the lows, and everything in between those areas, and just being fully in those moments, appreciating when you do feel good and when you're at that super high place when everything seems to be going very well, but also when you come back down to the low place and
Mm.
recognizing and understanding why you're there, and also being appreciative for the low spaces because they're there to teach us something. We cannot have the good without the bad,
We cannot.
unfortunately.
No. If we're going to accept one, we have to accept the other, and that can be really difficult sometimes.
It can be. It can be difficult, and it can be even more difficult to be stuck or feeling stuck in those places, especially the low
Mm-hmm.
places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's also about the different perspectives that those two places bring.
Okay.
The high places, everything is almost, you can get a little too high where you have the rose-colored glasses over everything. You get
Oh, like pink cloud high.
exactly just like that pink cloud. Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
everything seems so good, and we get complacent. And then, the lower places where we start to feel where the world is kind of against us, life is trying to beat us down when that is not the case.
Right. Like like why is this always happening to me?
Yes, why me?
Why me? Why am I always
Mm-hmm.
here? Okay. All right. Um, anything else coming up about the Wheel of Fortune?
It also has to do with the four seasons, the four elements. Um, Air,
Mm,
earth, fire, water, summer, spring, fall, winter. Everything about those elements and seasons serves a purpose, just like the seasons do. We have to have them all. We can't accept the good parts of each without having the more negative parts of each, or the less desirable parts, I'll say, not negative, but
right. Well, what just came to mind is the flowers that are behind us.
yes,
If we don't have the rain, we're not going to have the flowers.
we don't get the flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And also, what's coming up, those gloomy times are temporary. They really are, even though they seem like they last forever, especially when they're happening to you, to
Right.
ourselves.
Yeah.
It can seem and feel like they last for the longest time.
And isn't that usually by choice?
Absolutely. Once we
We,
recognize that we're putting ourselves in that place, you
mhm.
would be amazed how fast things shift and all of a sudden things seem doable. Like you're now not drowning, you are above water. You're just treading above water.
I am constantly amazed at how quickly that shift happens when I realize that I have made the choice to be miserable,
Yeah.
made the choice to focus on the low point rather than all of the spiking other points that are around me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just bringing in the gratitude as well, even though it's really tough when you're in those times, just being appreciative for what it is teaching you really can shift your perspective on really anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What I'm really getting is the practice of being in gratitude.
it is a practice.
It really is a practice.
It
I know
is.
we struggle with that. Sometimes you just, you get busy in life and
Mm-hmm.
then you kind of forget sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
which is okay. We're human, that happens.
Right. Right.
But finding your way back to that, man, it makes everything seem not better, but
Softer.
yes, more palatable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I have found through, I'm going to say the last, I don't know, couple of years, um, when I'm having difficulty finding gratitude, it's because I'm trying to think it. I'm trying to create gratitude within my brain. When I allow gratitude to come from my heart, boom, it's
Yep.
there. There is no thinking, there is no time lapse. It's there. And it's mind blowing that it's number one, can be that simple. And number two, that it can still be that difficult when I know for a fact that that's all it takes is to open up my heart space. And you would think with what I do, what we do,
Oh,
uh,
it'd be easy peasy.
it should be, or it seems that it should be. Um, excuse me, but being human is hard,
Mm-hmm.
and we forget
Yep. And don't you feel like an idiot after you realize how easy it was? That
every
you go,
time,
oh my God.
every time. Yeah, yeah. Um, so I have a question.
Yes.
Given what I just said, oh, hello, Kitty. I see your
Yep,
ears.
here she is.
in in sometimes finding it difficult to be in gratitude feels like it's a choice. Why do I personally choose to stay out of that vibration? And I'm wondering if you would like to do a card reading on that.
Okay, sure. Okay, well, funny enough, three cards exactly fell out in their formation, so this is what I'm going with.
Ooh, all right. Perfect.
All right, we have the Ten of Wands, the Two of Swords, and Spirit of Cups. So Spirit of Cups in this would be Queen of Cups.
The Queen of Cups.
Yes.
Okay.
And for everyone watching, I will feature these cards on the screen. I'll put them on there somewhere because with the background, it's hard for me to show the cards. So
Oh, yeah. They would just disappear
they
into like
disappear.
funny little things.
So the Ten of Wands is getting to that point in the end of the journey where you have just given it your all. You've put all of your energy into it and you're just done. And in the picture, Mari-Lyn, it's a person with a rope around a boulder and they are dragging it. And it just at this point it's over with. Just let it go.
Okay.
Um so I don't know what that would be for you, but there's something here that you know that really is just not serving you at this point, or something that just isn't going to go anywhere with the more energy you put into it, so it's just not worth it at this point.
Okay.
And I say that because the Spirit of Cups, the Queen of Cups,
Okay.
she is very intuitive, highly, highly intuitive, and very in touch with her emotions. And I also know you have lots of water in your chart, so
Mm.
which is I don't believe in coincidences. This is not one of those times,
Right.
but really in touch with those emotions and their intuition. They don't allow those emotions to take control of them. They are the master of their own emotions, and it's that creative side as well. And with the Two of Cups, which my cat is sitting on. Oh wait, no, did I say Two of Cups? Sorry, Two of Swords.
Two
My
swords.
bad.
Okay.
Um, it features two doors, and they have two different colors underneath them, and a set of keys on the wall with two feathers on a table. So essentially, it's that uh choice paralysis is what they call it, where you have the choice and you're just so overwhelmed with, first of all, making the choice, but also what lies behind that door. Either one of the doors, no matter what you choose. What lies behind that to us can be scary as hell.
Right.
And especially with the Two of Swords, because the swords is the air element, it's all in the mind. A lot of this is created. And this reading too definitely feels like it's for you, Mari-Lyn, but it also feels like it's for someone watching this right now.
I'm
The
sure there are a lot of people that know that they could feel better. They know that if they could just flip something and get in that vibration of gratitude, change their perspective, feel love instead of, I don't know, resentment or despair. Um, if they could do that, they would. And yet we don't always understand that it's a choice. Not an easy choice. And there's a lot of work involved, but there has to be a lot of people
Yep,
um, that are in the same situation.
absolutely. And I was gonna say something and I forgot.
Ooh.
I plumb forgot. It'll come
It
back
will
to me.
come back if it's supposed to.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really, to anybody watching this, it is okay if you are not in the vibration of gratitude. And if you find it really hard to be in that, do not force it because that will just not work. That will not be sustainable. And then eventually that will just turn into, you know, uh like disdain for
Right.
for everything, period.
Absolutely. I get that.
But it is okay if you just can't make the choice right now. That's the great thing about life as humans is we have nothing but time, even
Right.
though it also we always are told that, oh, you don't have much time. But it's also like, yeah, you do. Nothing is nothing has to feel or be rushed. Everything happens and will happen not on our timelines, but spirit's timelines for what is for our own highest good.
Right.
And when you're ready to open one of those doors, either one, you just will. It will just happen. And that's not an excuse to do nothing. I want to make that clear also, because in this
Right.
time of inaction, we can turn that energy inward to ourselves and we can work on ourselves in that time. If our outward environment isn't changing or things aren't changing the way we'd like, always turn the attention inward and you will find the answers you're looking for.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Or call Trevor and get a reading.
Or that. I would be happy to. Now I will open one of the doors for you. It's like a Monsters Inc. where they all the different doors in this
Right?
on the scare floor.
Yeah.
And again, too, if you open the door and you don't like what's behind door number one, shut it and go to door number two.
Love that.
And if you don't like door number two, there's door number three and four and so on until you find what is meant for you or what works
Right.
for you.
Yeah, because choices are just choices.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's always, if nothing else, there's always a lesson in every choice we make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That when I came to that realization that a choice is just a choice, um, that was really helpful in furthering my healing journey because there's no need to beat myself up for bad choices, poor choices. Um, were they in my highest good in that moment? Maybe not. However, there was a lesson to learn within that choice, and I needed it
Yeah.
every time.
And ultimately, it does end up being for your highest good. Because if you can take something and learn from that,
Exactly.
then it really wasn't a bad choice per se.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And the past is the past. So just leave it there.
Right?
Just leave it there.
Yep. Yep. I think
Be in the present.
the only reason to bring up the past is to heal.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we don't even need the details of what we're healing, right? It's just there's so much involved in the healing process. Um, but we can't change it. We can learn from it and we can heal it.
Change, learn, heal. Love that.
Yep. Yeah. So I am curious, Trevor, are there additional cards to the Two of Swords on maybe some clarity on how to get out of that choice paralysis? Yeah, choice paralysis definitely ring true for me, and that overwhelm of what if and what how and what who and
It's tough to navigate.
mm-hmm, it really can be.
Okay, how to get out of that choice paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Ace of Wands, the Embodiment of Wands, which is the King of Wands,
Okay.
and the Moon card. It's so funny because part of this feels like, well, who the hell knows? When you find the answer, let me know, please.
I love
It's
that.
like,
That's awesome.
but really, the embodiment of wands, the answers are within ourselves. They are within who we are. The answer is not the same for everybody. So the answer for me and you and whoever listening is probably going to be different because we have to
Sure.
get really look at who we are as people, as humans, and figure out for ourselves, how do I get out of this? Like, what is the solution for me?
But do we also have to look at who we are on the spiritual level? Not only as humans, but who are we as a spiritual being?
Yeah, everything goes back to spirit at the end of the day.
The end of the day. Oh,
And also with the moon, exploring those unknown parts of yourself can really help shed light on what to do in those moments when you're not sure yourself.
sure.
Really doing like meditation, I keep getting for some people who might be listening. And just seeing what comes up, setting the intention for that meditation for some answers, for some clarity, some guidance. And let spirit take you where spirit needs you to go. So try not to remain too rigid with your expectations of what you want for an answer, because what you
Hmm.
want is not always what you're going to get.
Very
Or,
rarely is what we want, what we need.
exactly. Or the fun flip side of that is you get exactly what you want, and then you realize, I actually didn't want that. You're like, haha, just kidding. I don't want to. Can you take it back?
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. You go,
And it does
Spirit, are you
happen.
accepting returns?
Yeah.
I don't have my receipt,
that
but I do have these tears.
actually works once in a while.
It does.
Not every time. Not every time. Sometimes spirit says, nope, sorry, that was a final sale.
Yep.
It's up to
It's
you to
like
figure out what to do with it.
it's like when you go into a shop and they say, okay, if you touch it, you got to buy it. You break it, you bought it.
Right. Right.
I'm trying to figure out what this is else I'm getting.
Okay.
But there's also this aspect with the Ace of Wands too of if you do not like the options that are laid out before you, make your own. We so
Oh,
often limit ourselves to the choices that I think that we expect other people expect us to make.
right.
And that doesn't work for us at the end of the day. That works for those people, not us. So we need to create our own unique solution to our own unique problems.
Create our own opportunity.
Yes,
Oh my goodness. You have probably no idea how much sense that just made.
I can kind of tell.
Wowza, wowza, wowza. I have always been a very black and white thinker. And I have worked really hard. Pam can attest to this. I have worked really hard over the past couple of years of opening that up and not being so black and white, right and wrong. Um, there's not, it's not an either or.
No.
It doesn't have to be this or that.
And so often life is never this or that. We have options. And and that what I'm getting is I was getting it while you were talking. That's where that paralysis comes in, that choice paralysis. Once we are given the freedom of choice, we go, oh my God, what do I do now? Like, we don't know how to handle that. It's easier for us to be given, you will either do this or that. That's it, pick.
Right.
And that is so limiting to
Very limiting.
ourselves. And then
And
we
then,
realize, oh, I don't have to follow that. And then you
right.
go, well, now what? What does that mean? I can't possibly I, make
I,
my own choices,
I can't possibly.
make my own opportunities. You're like, huh?
What will people think of me?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what will the neighbors think?
What what will they think? They're going to think I have they're just going to think I'm just full of ego.
Mm-hmm. And to that, you just let those people think what they will, because that's their own ish.
It's true. It is very true. It's really none of my business what they think.
No, nor should it be. Again, that's wasted energy that you could be spending that on yourself and your
On
betterment.
right and creating that opportunity or that other choice. Wow. So I don't have to think this way or that way. There's more than thing one or thing two.
Exactly.
Thing three, four, five. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Unlimited.
Wow. I would be really interested for you folks out there that are watching on YouTube. How many of you resonated with that? Um, as a wow, he's right. There's not just an either or. Are you black and white thinkers? Are you limiting yourselves? Are you allowing yourself to be limited and then furthering the limiting?
Mm-hmm. And I can relate to this too, because I'm a very structured thinker. I like to have structure. It makes me feel safer. But
Mm-hmm.
then when I get the choice, I'm like, oh my God. You're like, I gotta choose. I get to do what's best for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, sure do.
And what is with the fear of someone else not liking our choices?
It's like a fear of failure. We don't want to fail, not even for ourselves, but for other people. Because so often we're not succeeding because we ourselves, we want us to do better. We are succeeding because we want to show those people, like prove them wrong, which is a big motivator for I think a lot of people,
Right?
which is fine, but that's not sustainable. You need to do things for you.
I love how you fine.
It's all right.
But is it really fine? Is it
No, I say it's fine in that that will only work for so long before you start
right?
to just hate what you've worked for.
Right. That resentment starts building.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, all these things that you feel like you've worked for you, you go, why did I ask for all this? I didn't want this. This wasn't for me. This was for them. This was for those people, not me.
Okay.
Are you gonna block me after this?
Yes.
I'll make sure I don't text you for the next couple of days.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. No, not blocking you. And yes, you can text me. And this is something that I have already known, but kind of forgotten about, of acquiring things, both material and I don't know if qualities, personal qualities is the right term, but acquiring that for other people
Mm-hmm.
and not because it was something I truly wanted. Yeah, I've done that a lot in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I continue to do that. Think I want things and then go, maybe I don't actually want those things. I want those things to impress other people, not for me.
Yeah. The journey of self-discovery. Um, well, the Wheel of Fortune, it's a bumpy flippin' ride.
It is tough, but once you're on it, just be on it. Just go with it as best you can.
Yeah. That's it. I think Pam said not too long ago, ride the wave. Don't let it take you under.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the same thing with that Wheel of Fortune.
Don't jump off the Ferris wheel.
No,
Dang. Yeah. Well, that was a good reading. Thank you.
thank you.
And that seriously, Trevor didn't know I was going to do that, but that was planned.
No, I didn't. She said, how do you feel if I throw you a curveball? And I was like, okay, sure.
No idea what it was going to be,
Nope.
but that was fun. And
You know
thank
what?
you.
Impromptu readings are the best. They're often you get the most out of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was good. Gave me a lot to ponder.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad.
And because that choice paralysis, it happens frequently for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for a while I just became a fence sitter. I was ambiguous even. Um, I have, worked really hard to change that recently, but that paralysis, yeah, it is a real thing. So now I can really look at my choices and say, okay, well, are these even choices I want? Because everything has an obvious choice, right? I
Yes.
think so. Everything has an obvious choice. So now I can look at it. Okay, do I even like these choices?
Yeah.
Hmm, maybe I don't.
I'm I'm seeing you know those Scantron tests where you fill in the A, B, or C
Yeah,
with your pencil in school? It's like
yep,
that. And they say, okay, before you're done, you go back and change it. Make sure you go through your answers and you can that's kind of like life too.
yeah.
Always be looking at your life and going, am I making choices for me or am I making these choices for other people?
You know what just flashed across my brain was, so I'm the youngest of three girls. Me, both of my sisters um were married, and my father, every one of us, before walking us down the aisle, asked, are you sure this is what you want? Every one of us. And of course, we all said yes. And I'm the only one that's still married almost 40 years later, but that's neither here nor there. But he did have the foresight, which is so bizarre to me because he is where I learned black and white thinking. But yet he did he wanted us to know there is another choice. All the plans are made, everybody's here, and yet if this isn't what you really want,
Yeah,
you can walk away.
it's not too late. Ever.
Yeah. Yeah. A choice is just a choice. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I hope that resonates for everybody
I hope
watching.
so. I
I
hope
think it
so.
will.
Um, it was a lot for me. A lot for me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, Spirit.
Yeah. And if you want to, book a reading with Trevor or a hybrid healing, he is on our website, tcseverydaypsychics.com. You just fill out the contact us form and we'll get your email to him.
Yes, would be happy to do some healings or readings.
Yeah.
Whatever you like. Pick your poison.
Yeah. And then we also have Nana on there and Sarah. Of course, Pam and myself, we're not going anywhere. We're there. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add or something in that you'd like to talk about?
Mm, not really. Not that I can think of right now.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure I really covered all the bases here.
Oh, sure.
I think we did it.
I think so.
I think we got it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us and sitting through my reading. I appreciate it. Hopefully, like he said, something resonated with you.
And let
Give
us
you
know in
some
the
insight.
comments.
Yeah, please do.
And like the video, share it, and
Yes, all
subscribe.
of that good stuff. Subscribe, hit the notification because you just never know anymore when a video is going to come out.
Who knows? We might have more things coming out on the Conscious Spirit podcast channel, so be on the
Yeah.
lookout for that. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Yep. Yep. Things are happening, moving and grooving.
Well, all right. I think that's a good point to stop, don't you think?
think it is a good point to stop. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. See you
Thank
next
you.
time.
Bye.
Bye.